Right now, an encampment at UW-Madison remains as pro-Palestinian protesters continue to make divestment demands.
Tonight's storms are weakening as expected, but we'll track another round in just a couple of minutes.
And plans by the Biden administration to reclassify marijuana as a lower-risk substance. How it would be an historic shift. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. A protest and encampment on Library Mall at UW-Madison continues tonight as some students look to camp out for a second straight night. Now, these protests, like ones at other campuses nationwide, made of demands that the University of Wisconsin divest from doing business with companies in Israel. UW-Madison has made it clear this encampment is in violation of campus policy, but tents remain tonight. Armand Rahman continuing our coverage from Library Mall. Armand, you were out there late last night and for most of the day today. What's the mood like?
Yeah, Eric, the mood here today is definitely a lot calmer than it was at the same time yesterday. However, the crowd has grown a little bit as the night has gone on. I still have seen little to no presence from law enforcement here. However, it seems like a Madison Fire Department truck has pulled up for what appears to be a fire alarm at the Red Gym. However, that has not spilled over here into Library Mall just yet. Now, protesters tell me the UW administration has given them a new timeline to remove the tents, but they wouldn't share with me what that timeline was. But Governor Tony Evers today told reporters that while he believes these students are out here in good faith, those tents have got to go.
The encampments have to end, and so whether that's done voluntarily or not, but yes, it's an issue. Nothing about National Guard, that is not on the table. But we've had conversations all during this several days that this has been happening, and we'll continue to do that, and hopefully we'll have peaceful resolution.
Now, Evers says when he was a freshman here back in 1969, he too did get involved in protest. And just a little bit here later on in the 10 o'clock show, I'll explore a bit of the university's history with student demonstrations. For now, live on Library Mall, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. And the conflict in Gaza has an extremely complex and layered background. It dates back decades between Israel and Palestine. Many students and community members are voicing their support for Palestine. There are other perspectives on the conflict and the encampment in support of Palestine on the UW-Madison campus.
As a Jewish student, it's really uncomfortable. There have been some chants that have called for bad things against the Jewish people. I've been called many names. I've been barred from walking across the public campus.
The Hillel Foundation at the university said no student's right to be proud of their Jewish and Israeli identity should be compromised, adding when a cause aligns with terrorist organizations, taking pride in the protests and actions, and when language calls for violence against an entire identity, religion, and people, it becomes hate and discrimination. Well, we turn now to weather. Hope you got to spend some time outside today because we closed out April with temperatures hitting 70 degrees. There are some changes, though, in the first warn forecast to know about, with the chance of some stormy weather yet tonight and also later this week. Alex Harrington back to share his forecasts.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, we can pivot the stormy weather for tonight. The dry air that we were talking about earlier in our newscast that could be eating away at the showers and storms. Well, that has verified here. Dane County, just a few drops off towards the north and west of Cross Plains. A little bit more persistent area of rain right along Highway 14, Lone Rock, Richland Center over towards Muscadet and over towards Boscobel, just south of Soldiers Grove. These are just showers. The area of thunderstorms that were over portions of Iowa, just one lone lightning strike out over northeastern Iowa. I bring up northeastern Iowa and out towards La Crosse because that's very likely where that batch of thunderstorms will stay. Across the rest of the area, again, these rain showers have been struggling, so the chance of a strong storm tonight going down and down and down here. Just showers are expected across the rest of southern Wisconsin, maybe a clap or two of thunder up towards Juneau and Adams counties overnight tonight. But this is round number one here, so the evening storms are weakening as we speak right now. Breezy on your Wednesday. It'll be sunny. It will be mild. Then we turn our attention to the alert day conditions on your Thursday. Coming up in Maine weather, we're going to track through that weather system and talk about some of the forecast behind the alert day conditions.
Alex, thank you. And brand new at 10, police in Beloit say someone was shot there this afternoon. Happened shortly after 4. This was in the 1500 block of Porter Avenue in Beloit. Police say the person shot was a minor. They were taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police have begun their investigation. They say the shooting does not appear to be random. A Madison jury rejects an insanity plea today from Marshawn Giles. That's the man they found guilty of first-degree intentional homicide and 14 other charges last week. Now, what this means is Giles will serve his life sentence in prison and not in a state mental health facility. Giles was convicted last week of killing a 20-month-old girl on Madison's west side back in April of 2022. An update now from last week. Madison police say a woman pulled last Friday morning out of Lake Mendota has died. Crews were called to the lakeshore near Iota Court just before 4:30 that morning for reports of hearing a woman yell. She was found in the water. The Madison Fire Department's lake rescue team brought her to shore. Life-saving efforts began. She was taken to the hospital. Police say today the woman was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Her death remains under investigation as they try to figure out exactly how she ended up in the water. Tomorrow, former President Donald Trump will travel to Waukesha for a campaign rally, his second stop in Wisconsin this year. He visited Green Bay for a rally earlier this month on election night. Trump will speak at the Waukesha County Expo Center starting at 2 tomorrow afternoon. In a release from his campaign team, Trump plans to discuss crime, border policy, and the opioid crisis, comparing his first term in office to that of President Joe Biden. Trump was found in contempt for violating his gag order as his historic criminal hush money trial continues. The former president was fined $9,000. The judge presiding over the trial said Trump criticized expected witnesses in posts on social media and his campaign page. Trump has since deleted those posts. After court concluded for the day, he spoke with reporters outside, calling the gag order unconstitutional. Police in Charlotte, North Carolina have now identified the 4 officers gunned down yesterday as they attempted to serve a warrant at a home. As Manuel Bajorquez shows us, an emotional chief of police addressed the public today.
Knowing that you have families that are hurting right now.
The chief of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department wiped away tears as he gave an update on the ambush that killed 4 law enforcement officers.
Shots fired at officer, possibly 1 down. Subjects, correction, 2 down. Subjects barricaded himself.
The shootout started Monday as members of a U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force were serving a warrant on a felon police say was illegally in possession of a firearm. As officers approached, they say the suspect opened fire. Initially, investigators suggested the possibility of a second shooter, but now are not sure.
The suspect at the time had an upper advantage to the officers, so he was shooting from upstairs down at the officers, both front and back, which also could be an indication that we thought maybe there were multiple shooters at the time, too.
Deputy U.S. Marshal Thomas Weeks, a 16-year veteran assigned to the Fugitive Task Force, was killed in the ambush.
Losing a deputy, losing task force officers is like losing a family member.
2 officers from the North Carolina Department of Adult Correction were also killed. William Alden Elliott and Samuel Peloche, both 14-year veterans, as well as Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officer Joshua Iyer. 4 other officers were hurt, but none with life-threatening injuries. Manuel Bajorquez, CBS News, Charlotte.
Sources say the Justice Department will move to loosen federal restrictions on marijuana. Right now, pot is considered a Schedule I drug, which means it has no medical use and a high potential for abuse. Other drugs in that category include heroin and LSD. The Justice Department reportedly wants to move it to Schedule III. Now, those substances are considered to have moderate to low potential for dependence. The category includes things like Tylenol with codeine and anabolic steroids. Once the DOJ makes the recommendation, it'll take months to take effect after a public comment period. But neither the Justice Department nor the White House have confirmed that possible change. The U.S. Preventive Services Task Force now recommends women get a mammogram every other year starting at age 40 and until age 74. Previous guidance recommended mammograms every other year starting at age 50. Some groups, such as the American Cancer Society, have already recommended that women start those mammograms in their 40s. The task force's updated recommendations do not apply to people with a personal history of breast cancer or other risk factors. Those individuals should stay on the plan outlined by their physician or talk to their doctor about what's best for them. The Fitchburg Chamber of Commerce wants you to take advantage of this warmer weather and longer days by getting on your bike. It has challenged you to ride 150 miles between tomorrow and the end of August. Tomorrow is the start of Bike the Berg. That's a campaign to get you outside and explore the 35-plus miles of trails in Fitchburg. Sign up for the challenge online at biketheberg.org. You'll then log your mileage after each ride by submitting it online. If you want to participate but don't have your own bicycle, you can rent one instead through B-Cycle.
So we have now over 100 B-Cycles in the city that came in last year, and we had between April and September over 5,000 rides that people used. So this is something new to the city. You can come out here, park your car, and take an B-Cycle ride.
And just by registering, you'll be entered into several drawings to win prizes from local businesses. Also, when you register, you'll have the chance to purchase a Bike the Berg t-shirt, and money raised from that will go to purchase bike lights, which the Chamber of Commerce will then give out to riders who need them at community rides and other events this summer. More local stories are still ahead at 10. We go back to Library Mall on the UW-Madison campus as students plan to spend another night protesting, plus a look at how those protests are faring nationwide at campuses as some universities are turning to law enforcement to clear those encampments. Stay with us.
Get an 11% rebate on everything. Get a truckload of savings on items you need every day for everyone in your household. We have it all from big to small and everything in between. Get the floor of your dreams from Shaw. Brighton vinyl plank with attached pad is waterproof, easy to install, and comes with a scuff-resistant platinum finish for ultimate durability. Just $349 a square foot after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards. Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We do the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $200 at Walmart, over $300 at LensCrafters, and over $200 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird. With the best service, quality, and prices, Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. To help you remember, I made this cheer. The value. A, awesome value. L, lots of value. You get 2 pairs of free eye exam and anti-glare lenses for only $79.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
Go long.
That's a championship lawn. Be ashamed if some weeds took the title.
Nice hit, Johnson. Are you sick and tired of your lawn getting sacked by weeds? Then sign up with Weedman to help you achieve a lush, green lawn that stands up to weeds. Did I mention that it was kid and pet friendly? Tackle weeds on your home turf with Weedman. Call or click today.
A lot of law firms claim to be experts at handling injury cases that involve large trucks. But handling one trucking case does not make you an expert on the subject. Experience matters in these cases. One local firm has handled 25 trucking cases which resulted in payments over $1 million each, and hundreds of others as well. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
It's a great time to have RG Heating and Air Conditioning check your home's furnace system for safety and efficiency. RG services all brands and installs quality Trane equipment to keep your home running smooth year-round. Call RG Heating and AC today.
Technology and creativity merge to help neurodivergent individuals explore their unique talents.
So this is the recording studio.
In his Time for Kids series, Jalen Banks takes you to the place where Dr. Daryl Treffert's work lives on. Wednesday at 6. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
A pro-Palestinian protest continues tonight at UW-Madison, one of many happening nationwide as there is a growing movement from students calling out their universities to divest from businesses that do business in Israel. Arman Rahman continues our coverage from Library Mall tonight and joins us live with another check-in. Arman?
Yeah, Eric, things remain largely the same here. Now, the protests and demonstrations probably spark a lot of memories for people who were alive during the 60s Vietnam War era, and of course, more recently, the Black Lives Matter movement just a few years back. Now, both are similar times when young people have taken action to express their frustrations. A former professor at UW who studied and taught human behavior told us why we've seen protests happening throughout the decades on college campuses nationwide, just like UW-Madison.
If we can change this, it will mean that our lives matter. The way you stand on politically definitive moments during your young adulthood shapes the way you stand on things thereafter. I mean, young people are less sort of thinking about the consequences to themselves and more willing to take risks.
Now, as we go into night 2 here of the encampment protest, be sure to stay with News 3 Now and News 3 This Morning for all the latest developments. For now, reporting live on UW-Madison campus, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. Tonight, large numbers of NYPD and riot gear entered Columbia University. That move comes after the school started restricting access to its main campus after pro-Palestinian protesters broke into and occupied a school administration building. Michael George now has the story.
Police in riot gear moved into the grounds of Columbia University late Tuesday after the school vowed to expel protesters who occupied a building on its New York City campus. Earlier Tuesday, a banner reading "Free Palestine" hung from a window at Columbia University's Hamilton Hall. After university leaders said demonstrators against Israel's war in Gaza broke into the building using hammers overnight.
There's no business as usual during a genocide, and I'm very proud of my fellow students.
The takeover came hours after a deadline for the protesters to clear their encampment that some argue has created a hostile environment.
The rhetoric that's led to harassment and anti-Semitic tropes has gone unchecked.
On Tuesday, the school issued a stay-away notice for members of staff, telling them to avoid the Morningside campus. Early Tuesday, authorities were seen forcefully removing protesters at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Protesters are demanding the schools cut ties with Israel, arguing the humanitarian crisis in Gaza is an issue they can no longer ignore. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Brand new at 10, a teacher at Shabazz City High School in Madison is being recognized as one of 5 2025 Wisconsin Teachers of the Year. Brian Councilman has taught science at the alternative school for the last 7 years. He's also the school's project-based coordinator, being credited with creating impactful and meaningful school lessons, inspiring his students. Councilman is passionate about serving his community. He volunteers with the Madison High Flyers, a 4-H club, and at the River Food Pantry. Another farmers market returns for the 2024 season on Saturday. The Hilldale Shopping Center in Madison welcoming vendors and shoppers back starting Saturday morning at 8. And this market is bi-weekly, open both Saturdays and Wednesdays from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. in the rear parking lot behind LL Bean. Right now, there are about 30 vendors selling a mix of produce, dairy products, meats, bakery items, and more. Hilldale's general manager says what makes this farmers market so special is the people, both the shoppers and the vendors.
Here, it's also about the relationships. I mean, we have people that have shopped this market for over a decade, and they know the farmers, and they trust their judgment, and they trust, I mean, some of them give recipes out with specific items that they sell, which is really fun.
One thing that separates Hilldale's farmers market, well, it's dog friendly. Just make sure to bring your furry family member on a leash. Time for another check of the First Warn forecast. And Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
Hey, good evening there, Eric and everybody. Well, we've been tracking some showers throughout the evening. Those showers have struggled because we mentioned the dry air in place will probably eat away at those showers as we look across the rest of southern Wisconsin. Just a couple showers out towards Richland County and up towards the Dells. These drops are making it to the ground, but again, with all the dry air that we had in place, a lot of that rain as it moved out of Iowa and into Wisconsin has been struggling and evaporating. 6-hour future track radar also continuing that mode. Maybe a clap or two of thunder up towards Juneau and Adams counties, but the rest of southern Wisconsin, just a shower or two. So that line of thunderstorms that we were saying earlier tonight would fizzle has in fact fizzled across the area. So evening storms continue to weaken in those 3 things that you need to know here. Breezy on your Wednesday, a nice Wednesday. It'll be mild and sunny out there. Then we pivot to alert day conditions on Thursday. I'm really going to go into detail on that to give you a first heads up on the potential behind that weather system. But before we do that, the nice stuff. It's still 68 in Madison, 66 in Janesville, 61 in Lone Rock, and 61 in the Dells, 59 in Viroqua. Again, they've had a couple of those showers, so those temperatures are a little bit cooler. Here across the rest of Dane County, we got 64 in Mount Horeb. We have 66 to the north up towards Waunakee, and again, 67, 68 right here in the center of Dane County. Part of the reason why those showers have struggled, humidity and dew points have been a bit on the lower side, trying to creep up a little bit, and in fact, the raindrops are helping to make things a little bit more on the wet side, but not enough to allow those storms to really materialize. After a nice Wednesday, temperatures up near 70, we're going to be continuing to track the potential for alert day conditions Thursday afternoon and evening. There is a risk of severe weather. Storm Prediction Center west of Madison for your Thursday afternoon and your evening. Large hail and gusty winds would be the main threats. Let's play this out here. 7 o'clock on your Thursday morning, showers across the area. A strong east wind that comes off of Lake Michigan that brings cool air off of Lake Michigan. So this weather system will be battling that cool air coming off of Lake Michigan. As we move towards lunch, we still have that strong breeze coming in off of Lake Michigan, bringing the cool temperatures in. It's making that warm front that's trying to advance to the north struggle. Let's see if that warm front can make it up here. By the time we get to 4 o'clock, this is very reminiscent of what happened on Sunday. Janesville, Monroe, a warm front stretching over towards Platteville. Platteville, you're at 58 degrees, but then Janesville, you're in the 70s. As we move towards the evening, some thunderstorms try to form where that warm front meets the cold front, and they may sneak across the southern few tier counties across the area, with Madison being on the colder side. So what all of this means here, folks, is that we have some potential here for this weather system to not materialize because we can't get the warm air into this weather system. So we'll be tracking this again tomorrow night, and we'll have some updates here. We may pull back the alert day conditions if it doesn't look like the severe weather is going to materialize. But it certainly could change if that warm front comes to the north. Could be much cooler as well on your Thursday if we stay on the cool side. That weather system heading to the farmers market as we head towards Saturday, breezy with some shower chances, on and off shower chances as we carry out here into the rest of the 10-day. Good news is, though, temperatures are going to stay mild by day and mild by night. Let's take a look at some viewer photos. Flashback to last Saturday when we did have those strong thunderstorms across southern Wisconsin, prompting tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. Thanks, Walter, for sending us this picture. You're seeing the cumulonimbus clouds in the background as those storms popped up. You don't want to see something like this. This is a wall cloud that was captured near Monticello. Thank you, Paula, for being brave and taking this photo here. Actually, what you're seeing here as well on the left-hand side, just left of that wall cloud, is the rear flanking downdraft, bringing cold, rain-cooled air in and hail. And sometimes that can actually promote tornado production. Well, luckily it didn't in that case. But we appreciate you folks sending us those photos when it's safe. Channel3000.com/weather.
And coming up in sports, it's win or go home for the Bucks. How the Deer are doing in a must-win Game 5. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Chevy Equinox has been ranked #1 by J.D. Power for dependability and new vehicle quality among compact SUVs. In other words, it's really good right from the start. Chevy Equinox.
Do that again.
Connected by OnStar. Qualified lessees can get this Equinox for $269 a month.
See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you tires and batteries, trust and care, because we get you. So get out on the road and stay safe with quality automotive parts and service at unbeatable prices. Like buy 3 tires, get 1 free, plus up to $100 consumer rebate on select Cooper tires when you buy 4 by the end of April. 15% off assorted brake pads, shocks, struts, suspension parts, and more. And new Blaine's brand windshield wash, $2.99 a gallon. Tires and batteries, trust and care at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Mike Super, Magic and Illusion, America's Got Talent finalist, winner of NBC's Phenomenon, leaving audiences speechless. Now you can see Mike Super live. Saturday, June 15th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. A show for the whole family to enjoy this Father's Day weekend. Mike Super, Magic and Illusion at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
This is me, and this was my stubborn body fat. My name's Adrian, and Sonobello changed my life.
Sonobello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and they permanently removed my body fat in just 1 visit.
After having 2 kids, my body, it changed a lot. I tried everything to lose the fat, but nothing seemed to work.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, back, chin, and more.
I've seen such dramatic results. My tummy is gone, my double chin is gone, and my hourglass shape is back. This was the mommy makeover that I deserved.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-357-3263 or go to sonobello.com.
Celebrate your true radiance.
With the new Preference Hair Color by L'Oreal Paris. Now with a luxurious oil and gel formula for high-impact shine and a color full of reflex that defies fading for up to 9 weeks. New Preference by L'Oreal Paris.
I'm worth it.
Kelly needs new floors.
I need new floors.
So she went to the flooring experts at LL Flooring, and it was as easy as 1, 2, 3, floor. Nice one, Kelly. LL Flooring, every step covered.
The Bucks' backs are against the wall. Win tonight to keep their season alive, and they're going to have to do it without their 2 superstars who are ruled out again. But there they are, just watching Game 5. Now, because the game isn't technically over yet, I can't show you TV highlights, so Microsoft Paint is the next best thing. Chris Middleton, there he is, and he was on fire in the first quarter, scoring 10 of Milwaukee's first 14 points. And then Pat Bev came to play in the second. Playoff Pat had 12 points in the quarter and hit the Pacers with the too small. This one in the third, Bucks up double digits. Now, the Badgers and Jets seem to go hand in hand. You think of Jim Leonard, who played 3 seasons for the franchise, and Al Toon, who was taken 10th overall and is a member of the Jets Ring of Honor. More recently, Joe Tippmann, who was selected in last year's draft, and now, of course, Braylon Allen, who gets to team up with his old teammate. And as far as Agent Zero goes, well, his focus from Wisconsin to New York hasn't changed. He just wants to win games.
Winning. I know our quarterback has a ring of his own, so I'm sure he's itching to get back and get a second one. So that's the goal. I know just as well as me that everybody has that same goal in mind. So look forward to winning some rings.
Speaking of winning, how's this for a pre-Mother's Day gift? Allen's first big purchase since being drafted, a brand new car for his mom. We might have a new leader in the clubhouse for Son of the Year. Brewers looking to snap their losing streak, taking on the Rays, and they got off to a good start. 5th inning, already up 3-1. Willie Adames up in the batter's box, and Big Willie sends a 3-run shot to make it 6-1. That one landed in the Brewers bullpen. They'd go on to win 8-2 the final. And to the track we go, all city meet at La Follette. We'll start with the girls 4x2 relay, and Memorial's Maggie Braun anchors the Spartans to the first place finish in a time of 1:54.14. In the 600-meter run, it was all Madison West. The Regents went 1, 2, and 3, led by freshman Audrey Culp, who finished first in a time of 5 minutes and 31 seconds. On the boys' side, Marion Moore is just faster than you. He'd win the 100-meter dash and then get Memorial started in the 4x2, and his teammate Max Spanos would finish it as the Spartans take first, almost 9 seconds ahead of second place. Memorial won both the boys and girls team titles. We're back after this.
I remember coming home from school and pounding on the door, but my mother wouldn't answer. She'd be passed out inside. You know, my mother had a drug abuse problem. She struggled with addiction to prescription pills her whole life. But today with fentanyl, one pill, just one pill can kill. So I've worked with Republicans to stop the flow of fentanyl that's poisoning families across Wisconsin. I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message. This fight hits close to home.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
Save big money with these hot deals at Menards. All prices after 11% rebate. Get your garden started. All 4.5-inch Bonnie plants are on sale. These Hormel entrees are just $6.49 each. Schultz grass seed is just $8.99 each. And a gallon of Pool Shock is only $3.99. These hot deals won't last long. Hurry in before time runs out. Sign up for Menards emails to get more hot deals, plus the weekly flyer right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
Broadway has arrived. See the best of Broadway. Subscribe at overture.org.
If you have moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When symptoms tried to take control, I got rapid relief and reduced fatigue with Rinvoq. Check.
When flares kept trying to slow me down, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when my doctor saw damage, Rinvoq helped visibly reduce damage of the intestinal lining. Check.
For both UC and Crohn's, rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission.
And visibly reduced damage. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC and Crohn's in check and keep them there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Kelly needs new floors, so she went to the flooring experts at LL Flooring, and it was as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Floor.
Step 1, find the material that works for you.
Had to be hound-proof.
Step 2, browse your style and your budget.
Blonde wood, naturally.
Step 3, pick the right floor at the right price. Step 4, floor. Enjoy. LL Flooring. Every step covered. Right now, save up to $500 on installation. Schedule your free estimate today.
Chris Stanford, News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
And Alex is back as we take one final check of the forecast.
Yes, those storms that we were saying earlier this evening would fizzle. They've been fizzling with the dry air, but it's not the only chance of thunderstorms that we have this week after a nice Wednesday, although it'll be a bit on the breezy side. We'll be keeping an eye on alert day conditions for Thursday. It all depends on how far north a warm front gets on Thursday. If it can get up in here, our chance for severe weather increases. If it doesn't, that threat goes south.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10, folks. Have a great evening.